My name is Nicola Palmer, and I serve you as the Library Services Director for the Hiram S. Walters Resource Center here at NCU. I am based at the Mandeville campus, and for those of us who are students online, you know that our other campuses are in St. Anne's Bay and Kingston and St. James, Montego Bay. So we just want to welcome everybody who is here just now. And we know that as you spend the time with us, that whatever it is that you're going to be learning from our presenters and our library staff, that it will be of benefit to you. I want to quickly welcome all our librarians from the main campus here in Mandeville and the campuses around the island who are online, and I know that many of them invited you to be here today. A special welcome to our presenters who are here from ProQuest, who are here from Emerald, and who will join us from EBSCO Host. These presenters are our representatives for our online databases that many individuals will become familiar with and which many individuals will be familiar with already. I know that there may be individuals online who are freshmen and who have not really experienced the library resources as we would have them. I just want to also welcome our co-laborers and collaborators from the United Students Movement, in particular, the Vice President for the United Student Movement, Vice President of Academics, Ms. Michaela Reed, and our host, who is the Administrative Assistant for the United Student Movement, which is our student government. And that person is Ms. Keandra Alfred. She's hosting us today. So this is a collaborative effort between the library services and the United Student Movement. We are glad for the partnership, and we are going to go right into what we're going to be doing today. From what I have on my program, our first presenter is going to be from ProQuest. But at this time, we're going to ask Mrs. Natalie Knight to open her screen, her share screen, and continue.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. It's my pleasure being here to present to you the library's website, the gateway to our online resources at the Hiram S. Walters Resource Center. Now, the library's website can be found at hwrc.ncu.edu.jm. If you go on the NCU main page, you click on library and you're there. If you Google us, you'll also find us, Hiram S. Walters Resource Center. The library's website has several main tabs: the home, using the library, resources and services, contact us, easy login, register with us. And the view that I'm showing here is a desktop view. For the mobile view, you would see a page like this. So if you're accessing from your phone, your tablet, any mobile device, you would have to click here where the three lines are, and you'll see the menu to the left-hand side. You click on the arrows, you will see further the drop-down menu. Okay, so I'll just quickly go back to the desktop view. All right, so the resources and services, that's the main tab I will look at this point. In order to get to the databases, this is where you will go. Resources and services, and then you will see databases, catalog, research, help, other online resources. Our databases, those will be explained by our other presenters. I'll just go on the catalog a bit. Research help you can look at on your own, and other online resources. Ms. Nicola Palmer will touch on those later on in the presentation. So I'll just click to show you what the databases page looks like. So we have the Adventist Virtual Library, we have EBSCO Host, we have Emerald, JSTOR, ProQuest, and we have a trial database. from time to time, we get trial databases. So we add those and you can access. In order to access these databases, you will need to log in with your Orion credentials. So if you're unsure of what those are, you check with Eunice, that's the IT department. All right, since my Easy Proxy is where you will go. That is the authentication software that is used. When you put in your credentials there, and it will take you to the database, the resources. While we wait on that page to load, we can look at the other sections of the website. Using the library, this is mainly for the physical library. So we have the collections, it tells you about the different areas. The circulation desk, when one walks into the physical library, this desk is the first place that you see. We have the reference area, and we have different areas in the library. The reference area, we have open stacks area, which is the main stacks, the general collection that you can get resources to borrow for 2 weeks, renewable 2 weeks. We have the NCU archives and annex. The archives, some of those material you will find also in the catalog. Those have been, some of them have been digitized. We're working on digitizing that collection. Right, let us check back on our Easy Proxy page, it's still not loaded. All right, but just to let you know that once you try to access the databases, you will be asked to log in. So you will use, okay, so this is the page. So you will, your user ID, normally your student ID number and your password. So if you're still not sure what those are, check with Eunice, but you will need those to access the databases. Okay. And we have a little, the internet is a little slow. All right. Another important place on the website, register with us. In order to borrow anything physically from the library, you need to register with the library. And there's a self-registration form via the website. So just complete the form and submit. If you're already a member of the library and you try to complete this form, you will get an error. Once you're on, you're on. The easy login page simply shows all the databases that you have access to once you've logged in with your Easy Proxy. Once you've logged in with your credentials. Right, so here again, you would have to log in. Once you log in, you'll be seeing all the databases. You go straight to the resources once you've logged in once. Frequently asked questions. Those are current questions that persons will ask, and we provide answers to those. The opening hours, because of the COVID situation, those have been moving, but once we get the chance, we update. And in wrapping up, let's go back to the home page, the landing page. Once you get on the library site, sometimes we have information that you need to know. Right now, we have the flyers for what is happening this week with Library and Information Week. And then you'll have the quick search box. This quick search means just one search. So you search, it searches everything that we have on the website, on all the online resources. So all the database information, all the information in the catalog. One stop. You can select full text, peer reviewed only, and search. Now, before we go to the social media pages, we'll just quickly look at the online catalog. The online catalog stores information about, mainly about our physical resources. And in recent times, especially since the COVID pandemic, we have added some online resources, full text online resources in the catalog. So if you do a search, you will find, and internet is slow right now, so I won't attempt that, but you can go ahead. This is the link for the catalog. So if you need a physical book on the library, here is where you go to find that book. Here's where you go to check on your account. So we have clicked on the link to register with the library. Once you've registered, you can come here, log into your account. You will see the resources that you've borrowed. When you're due, you can renew your resources here. And those videos showing you all of this can be found on our YouTube channel. So at the very top of our main page, you will see links to our social media channels. So we have YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. This is a link to the Orion page and a link to the NCU main page. Right, so this is it in a nutshell for the library's page. And as I said, this website is a gateway to our online resources. So as the other presenters show you around their databases, you will have to go through this database in order to access using your Orion credentials. And this is it for now in a nutshell. So for other information, anything else, just email us at library@ncu.edu.jl. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Emily Bugarin. I'm a training and consulting partner for ProQuest. And today I'm going to be introducing the resources that NCU subscribes for all of its users. So I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully you get to see my PowerPoint presentation now.
We are seeing it, Millie, we are.
Thank you very much for your confirmation. There are many benefits that searching within the databases subscribed by your institution provide. And hopefully after this brief presentation, you get enough insights to take best advantage of these resources and to consider how important it is to utilize them, since these represent an important investment and efforts from the library and the university to provide the most complete academic content for students and professors as well. My name is Noily Bugarin. As I mentioned before, I'm a training and consulting partner for Mexico and the Caribbean. And since this is a very brief presentation, I'm sharing my email address. Feel free to reach me at training@progress.com in case you would like me to cover one-on-one doubts regarding our resources or the platform and how it works. Now let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. And that elephant's name is Google. So as high education students, it's very important that you consider searching within the library databases instead of Google. We know and we understand that most of us are quite familiar with this tool. Nevertheless, for academic purposes and academic works, it's very important to assure the content you are revising has been curated, is easily organized, and provides you opportunities to limit and to be much more specific on what's exactly what you need for your research and your works. And databases, as I mentioned, provide many benefits, such as retrieving different source types as ebooks, dissertation and theses, historical new papers, reports, conference proceedings, newspapers, and scholarly journals, among many others. But something that's very relevant as well is to be able to identify, to clearly and easily identify what type of source am I using for my academic research. Now, in this case, NCU subscribes to two of our main collections, which are education collections. And this collection provides access to ERIC, the leading index for education research, in combination with the full text education database. Together, they provide abstracts, indexing, and full text coverage of journal articles, books, book chapters, dissertation, working papers, and more, including full text from hundreds of leading education journals. The second database subscribed by NCU is the Progress Dissertation and Thesis Global Database. This is a very thorough collection of around 5 million theses, from which more than 2.7 million are available in full text PDF format for you to freely download. There are not restrictions regarding the number of files or PDFs you can download per day. And that's great news for you to have easy access to full text information. It's also a growing collection. More than 200,000 works are added each year. And it's also the official offsite repository for dissertations for the US Library of Congress. And this gives you an idea of how relevant this collection is. Now, after introducing our resources, something I was missing, sorry, is how important it is nowadays for researchers to be able to include other types of supplemental materials within their dissertations works. And some of the examples of content which cannot be included in printed manuscript are audio, code scripts, and data files, as well as PowerPoint presentations, spreadsheets, sheets, etc. So this is something we have taken into consideration, and these are kind of materials that have been included since 2000 and are available from 2007 onwards. And it's quite interesting to have access to materials and formats that support arguments included in these dissertations and theses. Now, after this brief introduction of the resources, then I would like to show you our platform. I have a online demo of these resources. So now you should be looking at our ProQuest platform. This ProQuest platform hosts most of our ProQuest resources, including these two. I have just introduced the ProQuest Dissertation and Thesis Global and the Education Collection. Now, what's great about utilizing the databases subscribed by the library? That's, as I mentioned, the content has been previously curated, but also that platform gives you as users, whether you are a faculty member or you're a student, and whether you're a freshman or you are a senior student, it gives you the opportunity to decide where and how to research for your information. It could be through any of these options available: basic search, advanced search, publications, and browse. And we'll look at it at all these briefly later on. But also it gives you the opportunity to select a specific source type for your search or a database. And this is the first option I'm going to show you. When selecting the databases tab, then you'll have access to the list of resources subscribed and of publicly available access from ProQuest. So in this case, we have coronavirus research database, but we also have the two collections we just mentioned, and publicly available content database. This is content that open access content that ProQuest has organize and gather within this database in order for you to have easier access to it. Now, let's suppose I'm interested in only looking for education within the education collection. Perhaps I'm a professor of the special education degree. So I'm looking for special education content. This is the search I'm gonna run. I'm using the basic search that you can easily identify by this search box. And I'm gonna click on search to show you something very interesting. As I mentioned previously, Within your collections, there are, especially for the education collection, we have several source types included in this database. So it's very easy for you to have access to reports, scholarly journals, chapters, book chapters, as well as other sources, conference papers, perhaps a magazine or a commercial journal, etc. So you have very diverse content to look at, and it's really easy to identify since you have these icons and the namings. And so you have a clear idea on what you're reading or what information you are considering for your search. And also on the left side of the screen, we can see all of the filters that allow you to limit the results you retrieve by source type, by publication date, publication title, document type, subject, location, person, but also language. So we have content in other languages besides English, which of course is the main language in which all these academic research is published, but there are also other languages included as Spanish. I understand you also have a Spanish degree, so probably this would be of interest for our faculty members as well as students. And also once again, you have the opportunity to select one database among the two that are included in the collection of education. Now let's look at the results. In the main panel, you will always retrieve results from all the periodicals and other sources and formats, such as grade literature. And on the right side, right column, you'll retrieve results from ebooks. So let's say I want to look at a scholarly journal. And it's going to be easy as well for me to identify and validate what information is available for this article in this case. So the abstract and details, and I have two different versions of full text. I'll show you the difference between these two in a moment. But also I have access to all of the additional works that cited this article, as well as the references used in order to write it. So you can limit or expand, narrow or expand your search as desired regarding on what's the focus of your research or your paper in this case. So here I have the detail page of my document, and I see I have access to PDF full text, but also another format, and this is HTML full text. And this gives me the opportunity and the advantage to translate both the abstract and the full text, and also to have access to the text-to-speech tool in order to support different types of learners and different search or reading preferences. So let's say I'd like to translate this abstract from English to Spanish. I just select each language and click on translate, and then I have this automatic translation to Spanish. So this is a great tool for you to consider, as well as the information and management tools in order to download site and open a window with a menu that includes several citation styles, including the latest versions of APA and MLA. You select that one of your preference or the one the professor has asked you to use and consider. You can just copy and paste it into a Word document or Google Doc where you are keeping track of all of your references. You can also email this article printed, or in case you would rather not download that many files to your computer, then you also have the opportunity to save in the cloud, whether it's Google Drive, Google Classroom, and Microsoft OneDrive. These tools are going to be available no matter what source type you are reading or using for your search. Now, let's have a look at the advanced search. And let's switch the subject a little bit. Let's say I'm an undergraduate student of a medical technology degree, and I'm working on a paper or a project about all the advanced, all the innovations and the projects that have been developed in the last years in medicine, but with the use of robotics. So I'm searching for robotics, but since this is the main topic of my research, the main focus of my research, then I would probably like to retrieve this word from anywhere except the full text. This means the abstract, the title, the main information. Same for medicine, I'm gonna choose as well anywhere. I only want to look at full text documents, but I'm gonna customize the date range from 2015 to 2021. And I will only like to look at dissertations and theses. So let's see if we can retrieve results. What I'm gonna do is to change databases. And instead of searching within the education collection, I'm gonna select the dissertation and thesis. So let's search for robotics and medicine. Full text, again, I'm gonna customize my date range and include 2015 and 2021. And here I'm going to select only doctoral dissertations and then search. Now, during the presentation, I mentioned how valuable it is to have access to supplemental files. And this is what we are looking for to find right now. So besides all the information to validate whether it's available in PDF, whether I can also order a printed copy if I have access to references, but let's look for supplemental files. Here we have an example. And remember, these supplemental files come in different formats. So in this case, I would like to see what's included for in this dissertation for optical navigation techniques for minimally invasive robotic surgeries. So as I see, this is an MP4, this is a video. And when selecting it, I only need to agree to the privacy policy. And here I have my video. This demonstrates the development of this technique, of this device, in order to use it for optical navigation process. And I can also download, I'm sorry that because of my browser, I have this in Spanish, but you can download this video if desired as well. So that's great advantage. And just let's look quickly at the other two, at the other search option we have. We can browse by subject or also by location. So let's say I would like to see who has aggregated dissertations to the ProQuest platform in Jamaica. So let's select the J. And I'm sorry, I'm going to change to browse by location. J and Jamaica. So here I have a list of universities that have added and aggregated their dissertations with us. Caribbean Graduate School, but I can see I have 2 documents from Northern Caribbean University as well, and perhaps I'm curious and I would like to take a look at these works. So as I can see, I have access to the full text. I could download these with no restrictions. these two actually, and the second one includes 45 references used for this research work. And if you like to have access to more information and instruction on how to use the platform, how to download basic search, perhaps look at some search strategies or tips, this is the place to look at this information. This is a progressleap guide. I'm going to share the link in the website, in the chat, sorry, of Zoom. So you can all look at it. And here you go. We have our lead guides. We have online modules on basic search, advanced search, but we also have other formats and materials such as PowerPoint presentations on how to use the Progress platform. So if you are a professor or you are a library member, then perhaps you would like, or you need to reply instruction, you need to reply training, feel free to download this. It's not necessary to register or create an account. This information is for you and ready to be used. So I would like to dedicate the last few minutes to see if you have any questions. I'll be happy to look at those. Please share in the chat and make sure you have no more doubts or questions regarding this presentation and the information delivered.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Millie, for the presentation from ProQuest. And I know that our students are going to be reaching out to us and probably to you too, to see how best they can get the very best of the ProQuest information, of the ProQuest resources. Thank you very, very much. And Michaela is saying thanks for that one. A lot of persons are happy that you were able to come on.
My pleasure. My pleasure. I'm sorry to interrupt you. My
That's
pleasure.
fine.
I will only like to share a link to our service survey. Please let us know whether you consider this information interesting or valuable for using our resources, as well as share in case you're interested in having access to more training, or what would you like to receive from us, what information can we add for you to have like a better experience.
Thanks for that. And Millie, we'll be reaching out to you. Be sure of that.
Thank you.
Great. Our next presenter is going to be coming to us from Emerald, and she's going to be introducing herself and take us through her presentation. Here she is just now.
Thank you. Hi, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicola. And thank you for the invitation. And thank you all for being here today. My name is Tuchila. I'm relationship manager for Latin America and Caribbean. Today I will do a quick presentation. Let me just do a quick presentation just to show you the content you have access to, and also introduce our platform. So you have perpetual access to these collections from 2013 to 2016. And our platform is an intuitive platform, is accessible by phone and computer, has an integrated platform, is AA level in HTML page for accessible. It's accessible for AA HTML page. But let's see how the platform works online. So this is our platform. you need to access remotely as presented previously. Here, the first tool that I want to show you is our browse. Here you can explore our content, our books and journals, our case studies, our expert briefings, and also have access to our open access content. But first of all, let's see our journals that you have access to. So here you can, let me see, here. Here you can find a specific journal, for example, including the name, Journal of Documentation, and you can find this journal looking for the name, or you can also focus on a specific area, for example, education, and you can also select sub-areas, two sub-areas, and you can also focus your search just on journals. See, I select education and I have 42 journals indexed in this area. Through our browse, you can also access our open access content. Here you can see all the open access information. We have articles and books also, and you can do a search for a specific keyword and see all the content free. In our platform, you will see the number of downloads of each article and also the information about the metrics that are mentioned on the internet from this specific article. Let's return to our homepage that I want to show you another tool. Is the quick search where you can do a search, for example, fake news for a specific word, but you can also search for a specific journal, just including the journal name here. But if you want to do a search by a keyword, just include the keyword and do your search. The word will be searched and the whole content, abstract, keyword. The word must be in anywhere in the article. So here again, we have the number of downloads, the metric numbers. I have a high number of results, so you can filter your results. You can order by relevance, chronological. You can also see just the content signed by your institution. You can filter by period. You can also select the type of content we want to see. Articles, for example. And clicking the name of the article, you have access to HTML version of this article. You can navigate for different parts of the content, the article. You can see some related articles, 6 articles that use the same keywords. You can access the PDF of this article. You can see the affiliations of this author, and you also can access the title page where when you will see all the issues available, you also have access to early site content. You can do a search in these issues, all these issues. You can create an alert for this journal here, and you also can see all the information about these journals, all the authors' information for who wants to submit an article. Here, you can submit your paper, you can see the journal descriptions, the editorial team, the author guidelines, also see the ranks, and some related journals that publish the same subject. Returning to our homepage, I want to show you now how works the advanced search. Here you can do a search using keywords and decided where these keywords will be searched. In the title, abstract, author name, story. You can select a period and you can choose for looking content, just the content signed. Clicking insert, you have the same results page where you can select all the articles find it, and you can create download a RIS file and import to a tool that you use to manage your references. You can also save the search here, and when you do your login, you can access all your search saved here in saved search. So we have a lot of service for different type of users. So we have service for authors, editors, librarians, researchers, and reviewers. So here you can find a lot of informations. For example, for authors, you have information for authors that want to write an article, a book, a case studies. If you want to write open research, we have author policies and information about ethics. And in this page, we also have the call for papers, where you can see all, you can see, let me see why I don't know why I cannot access, but here you can see all our call for papers. So here we have also an area where you can share your feedback about the platform. All the feedback is available. And I want to finish just to showing you, just a minute. Let me get the link and share with you our YouTube. Let me see the chat, just a minute. Here we have a lot of playlists that you can see later with a lot of information for authors and users. And we have also, we have also our Facebook link where you can follow us and follow all the trainings, all the sessions that we are promoting this year, and also information about interest topics that we just publishing in Spanish, English, and Portuguese. So thank you for your attention. And I want to dedicate my last minutes for questions. No questions? Isabella, you want to add something?
Hi, everybody. I'm Isabella from Emerald. I work with Tetila. Just thank you, Nicola and Natalie, for the invitation for us to be here today. And anything you need from us, from Emerald, about our publications and support for authors, count on us. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you to Tila and Isabella. And a special welcome once again to all the students who are here, and also the faculty and staff. Special welcome to you. We continue with the next presentation, which is from Lisa Jones from EBSCO. So you may go ahead and share your screen, Lisa.
Thank you, Ms. Knight, so much. So let's see, it's confirmation that you're seeing it.
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you so much. So hi, this is Lisa Jones. I work for EBSCO as a trainer, and I'm definitely going to help you today to understand how you can access your library resources online. Please ask questions throughout this session in the chat if you'd like, if you're allowed to do that, and we'll save a little bit of time afterwards too to be able to follow up with questions. So I'm starting on your website, and Ms. Knight already kind of shown you that you can, there's a couple ways that you can search your online resources. Number one, you can go to the resources page here and go to the databases page, which then takes you to then where you have some choices, right? So you can choose a resource in EBSCO, or you can choose Emerald, JSTOR, so on, ProQuest, and Sage. So there's ways that you can do that. But the way from the home page, the way that I'm going to access your resources is I'm going to actually use this quick search box. And when I use this box, I'm actually utilizing and searching all of those EBSCO resources at the same time. Plus, I'm searching some, if not most, of the Emerald resources. I'm searching the JSTOR and some of the ProQuest resources too. I'm also able to search right from within this one box. So I'm going to start with a simple search, and I'm just going to use the word of mindfulness. So within, once I do mindfulness and hit search, I may be asked to authenticate, but I know how to do that. And once I am, I'm actually then viewing a lot of results. And what do I see here? So what you have and what you're searching is your online library. So what do you have in your online library? You have the same thing you do when you walk in, but a lot more. So you have access to videos, you have access to over 200,000 ebooks. So if you think about that, I'm just going to stop there for a minute. If you're looking for books, books are online, and there's a multidisciplinary collection that you have with over 200,000 of them. They're accessible 24 hours a day. If you are a faculty member in this session, and if you said, oh, I want to use that for my classroom teaching, you can do that, because every single one of these books that you find are accessible from unlimited access. So that means that 20 students at the same time could click in and log in and read the book, print chapters from the book, or just have it open on their desktop or on their device, and be reading it and accessing it over and over and over again without any kind of access issues or anything from stopping them from saying, hey, you only have one of these books. Unlimited access for the books. You also have thousands of peer-reviewed journals thousands of articles, hundreds of thousands of articles within those journals. There's popular reading materials, and then you have a lot more resources. So just as I scroll down, that's kind of what happened when I just searched mindfulness. I'm getting a lot of different resources. And then you can use your filters over here on the side, depending on what you're looking for, to help you to then narrow down. But before I do that, let's just look and see what's on the page. So the first thing I get is a research starter. If you get something that's called research starter at the very top, it's always going to be the first thing. It's not always there, but if it is there, that's going to help you to understand in a basic way what that topic is. So what is mindfulness? So if I did click in, it's just going to give me general information, and it's a citable source of information. So instead of going to Wikipedia and saying, okay, I can see that mindfulness came out about, it involves intense concentration. I can look here, I can read this document, and it's also citable. So we'll look at these tools in another article, but just to give you an idea of what those research starters all are, a beginning point of research that's citable, okay? So right there was that research starter. If I said, well, I already know what mindfulness is, I really just need to dig deeper into the topic, I'm going to go down and I'll show you real quickly on my result page. I see already that I see this is an ebook, and then I see the title here, more information about it, when the publication date is, and then the access points. So as I scroll down, same thing, this is another ebook. So I have applied mindfulness, mindfulness at work, psychology of mindfulness. So it's kind of crossing over multidisciplinary. So this is maybe a business, more of a business book. This would be more of a education or health, right? Health related, that has to do with mindfulness. And the same thing here. So psychology of mindfulness. As I continue to go down, I start to see I also have articles that have something to do with mindfulness. This gives me the title of the article. This gives me a little bit of information about, where it came out of. So this came out of the Journal of Business Ethics. It happens to be, of this month, or actually last month. Time's flying by here. So you can see this is a very new article. You can see there's images in it and the access points here. Okay, and I'm going to continue to scroll down and just show you a little bit more. So many articles covering mindfulness. Let's look at, let's go ahead and just look at one of the ebooks, right? Let's go ahead and jump into that. So the ebooks act a little differently than the article. So if I am interested in the ebook, I probably never want to go initially to this full download. You don't run into the library and pull a book off the shelf and run out, right, without even opening up and looking at it. So you want to first open it up and look at it. And maybe that's good enough. You just want to print off a few pages or, just bookmark a few pages. So if you're looking at this, and let's go ahead and open up this one. So I can open up the PDF here, EPUB here, or here I have a choice. It doesn't matter. I can choose my choice. This is a more fluid choice. So far, if I'm on a mobile device, I probably want to use EPUB where I can then scroll over with my finger and make the item bigger and smaller, resize the screen. Here, if I just jump in here, I can jump in the full book here, or I can actually look at the most relevant pages. If I click on the plus sign here, this shows me where mindfulness is kind of mentioned. And then I can also open the table of contents. So if I open the table of contents here, I can maybe this is what I actually want to focus on is, hey, I like chapter 6, mindfulness-based approaches in cultural populations. This is going to be where my studying is going to come about. And I'm just going to jump right into that book. And so, like I said, everyone in this class could also be using, following along if that's what I wanted to do. Once I'm in the book, I'm just going to open right to chapter 6. I have some options to make the book larger, smaller, just, some ways to control how I'm viewing the page. I also have the option over here to see the full contents within the book, the table of contents. If I already know for sure, I just want to grab chapter 6 and take it and remove. Maybe I want to print it off. I'm just going to save it to my desktop. So this download here is where I want to go. So literally downloading the chapters, emailing the chapters to yourself, or saving certain pages or chapters, saving them on your flash drive or on your device. That's what you're most likely going to want to do with these ebooks. And that's going to be a quick and easy process. I can just go ahead and do that. This tells me that this chapter is 18 pages, so I can just grab it and then it makes a PDF out of it. Okay. So ebooks, pretty easy to read online. I'm most likely, I can move over to different pages if I want. I'm most likely going to do some of these, maybe hide the table of contents, so I can see the full book and just read here. Maybe I want to minimize it or maximize it, depending on what you want to do. We're all kind of used to that. And then remember, the chapter downloads, the emailing the pages or the printing the pages are all going to be the way that you can share it and save it for later. The citation tool is very similar in articles and in ebooks. So I do have the ability to cite, and I do have multiple formats. So most likely it's going to be APA or MLA, and I'm going to find those formats and just cut and paste those over into my bibliography or my works cited document. And all of these up here are just kind of like they're on and off. So if I click it once, it opens up, and then if I click it again, it closes it. So same with the dictionary, if I want to look at that. If I am want to save items to Google Drive, I can do that. Or EBSCO allows you to also make let's call it an EBSCO drive or an EBSCO cloud. So if you said, well, I'm going to be doing a lot of research on this, I'm going to save multiple book parts. I'm going to also save articles, and then I'm going to, take a rest for a few weeks, and then I'm going to, prepare my paper. Or as a faculty member, if you say, well, I teach this topic over and over every semester, I found some great resources in, that I'm searching that I found, and I want to save these so that I can revisit them every single semester until I find more. So if you do decide that you're not, don't want to use the print or the saving to a flash, and if you say, well, I want to create an EBSCO folder, then you are welcome to do that. So I'll look at that at the very end too, but just to give you an idea of another way that you can save and share your research. Okay. So I just used the back button to go back to the page. Remember, I haven't really done any filters over here. I'm just grabbing the first couple of ebooks that I find. Let's do one more. Let's go into an article to show you the difference between an article. So we just went into an ebook. We looked at chapter 6. We dove right in by going to the content or by opening up the table of contents. As I continue to scroll down, I can see that maybe I said, oh, I'm going to, I'll just pick any one of these. So I'll just pick one of these here. And I see that this is coming from Psychological Reports. It's kind of fairly new too. And before I go in, I do want to highlight that a lot of these articles and resources that you have are subscriptions that your university has, is subscribing to. But some of the things are actually open access. So there's open access resources in here along with subscription resources. Okay. So anytime you see that PDF, I can jump in. Same thing with HTML or PDF here. If I want it to be similar to what some of the other trainers were showing you earlier, if I want it to be more in a text format, and I want it to be able to be, let me show you. I'll just, instead of talking, I'll just go ahead and show you. So if I do want it to use the translation feature, or if I want it to be read to me, that HTML or the text version of the document is what you'd want to choose. So along with being able to just read it online here, which I have the full item here, then I can do that. Or I can also change the language, have it translated, or I can have it read to me. Here are the same type of tools that I had when I went into the ebook. So I do have the citation tool here. Remember, if you click it one time, it opens up. If you click it again, it closes. I can also email it. So let's say I'm going to email it if I'm doing a group session with one of my colleagues, or I'm a faculty member and I found something that I want to share with another faculty member that's teaching the same class. I can go ahead and send that along this way, and it will send it as a PDF attachment. So you're taking it out of the database and out of your online library, and then you're sending it as a PDF to use for later. There's the save. That's just going to save it to my hard drive or flash drive, wherever you choose. And then here's the adding it to my folder. So if I did say, well, I think I will create an EBSCO folder, I want to create one first by signing in. And then I'm going to be able to then save it and have it for later. Okay, so you're setting up your account, you're creating using probably your email address as your login, and then creating a password so that then you can remember. All right. Any questions about that? Let me know. So back to the result list, you can see that the article, I'll just go ahead and jump right into the PDF here. So PDF, we're all pretty used to. We understand that's kind of the gold standard of what you probably want, most likely. So a lot of those PDF links from within the result list page, that's where you'll follow. Depending on your network speed will determine, and depending on the length of the document, will determine how long it takes to load. This document must be pretty long, or here in New Orleans, something has happened with my network speed here, but we'll just wait a second more. As soon as I log into the PDF, it is showing me, so it's 11 pages long. I think it did have a lot of those graphs and charts, but here's the full item. So you never, ever, ever will be asked for, for you to pull out your wallet or any extra other information. These items are already all available for you on, within your library. So a lot of times we're doing free searching within Google. We get an article we want. The second we click on it, it's asking us to subscribe or to pay, right? So, oops, you've already read your 3 articles. You can't read anymore. That's a huge advantage for using your library resources, is you will never be blocked from any of these. And if you do happen to be blocked, that's a conversation that you have with your like a librarian, okay? Because that should not be the case. You should be able to access it fully and freely and use it for your research within the university. So here's the full document here. These same tools I have. So if I'm using Google Drive as my saver, I can do that. If I'm using EBSCO Drive, I'm using the, save to the folder here. I have my print tool, my citation tool. As I hover over it, tells me what it is. So a lot of these same tools will follow you over. They'll usually all be on the right, on the left, what is that, right-hand side. And then the ebooks had the tools at the top. When I'm in a PDF, the only difference is I'm actually viewing other articles within this same journal. So if I'm looking at this journal that happens to be called Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, I clicked into the mindfulness article, but I have other articles within that same journal. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the result list and just give you a few other ways. I'll do one more search, but before I do that, I want to just highlight some of these features over here that are super easy to use. So already your university has said, well, we're going to show you what we own. And so that's why this full text filter, so these 200 and something thousand items that you found about mindfulness, you have access to all of those. So there's nothing on this list that should not have some type of link underneath it to go out and access it in fully. All right. So you see all these links here, all of them are going to be, you're going to be able to access it right away. More books here at the bottom, and I can continue to page over and see more and more. What I want to do is I probably want to use some of these filters, right? So I want maybe the latest information that's been written about and published on mindfulness. So there's an easy way to change the publication date. So I just, I can move this track here if I want. And you can see that automatically it's already kind of updating, right? Or I can just type in, I really only want, let's say, let me just do like 2018, right? So I want to do 2018 too. And why would it say 2022? Well, a lot of times in the publishing world, they use dates that are forward facing, right? So like if any of you get magazines in the mail or used to, or, a lot of times you'll get the December edition, but it'll be November, or it may even be October. So we are very close to the end of the year already. So we do actually have things that have the publication date of 2022. So here, just by quickly either dragging the bar or typing it in, I can filter out, and I'm working still within my same list of mindfulness, but I'm just filtering things. Another way to filter is maybe I am only looking for ebooks. If I do show more on the source types, maybe I want to read more of magazines. I want to have more of a popular reading experience before I go on to more academic. So I need a better understanding of it. And then I can look at those academic journal articles. But you can see here, I also have patent information that has something to do with mindfulness, conference materials, um, videos, audio. So I do have other source types that I can review and look at and filter by, and also newspapers. So news articles, a lot of newspapers are already available in here. So let me cancel. And then I guess the only other one that I would really highlight for you, especially if I'm doing just a real general search like this, is open up your subject. So this helps me to get my thoughts together. I don't have to think about, well, mindfulness is a big topic. What else? What should I really focus on, right? Um, so here are going to be subjects that are coming out of your results. And if I do show more, it's going to be the top 50 subjects coming out of my results. So this is not broadening my search. This is narrowing. Everything's going to be about mindfulness, but let's add some thoughts to it. So do I want to talk about, well, what is it? What is stress? How can we reduce stress using mindfulness? This is going to be helpful for me. What about, compassion or stress management? So lots of different things that I can add. Maybe I want to talk a little bit about exercise or yoga. What is exercise or having yoga? What does that have to do with stress relief and mindfulness? So I can actually continue to add as many as I want. What about if I want to focus on college students? So I'm going to update, and I've used those filters. So this isn't so it's actually narrowing my results. I can also narrow my results by peer reviewed, which will take away the ebooks, which will take away the more popular reading materials. So if you want to make sure that your item is peer reviewed only, then you're going to be using this filter. So I think the peer reviewed filter, the date filter, and then, if you want to use the source type, if it's relevant, if you need like something from a newspaper, something from an ebook, and something from a journal, you can make sure that you filter and just only get those things. But the subject filter, I think, is underused, and I think it will really help you to narrow down your thoughts and help you to get really quickly to materials that are going to help you in your research. Okay, so to clear everything out, I'm going to do one more search and then I'm going to be done. So to clear everything out, basic search, I'm just going to go back. I think I can just do new search up here, just to re-clear. And I just have one more way to search. So I have a professor that told me that I need to look in the Harvard Business Review. So that is a business magazine. And I'm just going to see, whoa, is it online? Because if I did Harvard Business Review and went to Google, that's definitely one that's going to ask you to pull out your wallet, right? I mean, it's going to give you a few free website articles, but if you really want to get to the nitty gritty of what's being published, it's going to be asked to pull out your wallet. But your library has already a subscription to Harvard Business Review. You may not know it, but put the title in, whatever it is. This could be journal of something or just whatever it is. My professor told me this. I'm going to just do a search on that. Now, the system, what it does is it says, well, I think that's a keyword search, because you just put in these words and it's just looking at that together. So it is doing a search and it's finding articles about Harvard Business Review or that mention Harvard Business Review. But the first thing is it says is, hold on, wait a minute. you have a magazine or you have a journal called Harvard Business Review. Are you looking for that? Because if you are, go ahead and do a search here. So anytime you know a journal name, if you want to put it in here, you can. Usually you're kind of doing it by accident, but you can put it in here. And a lot of times if the library has it, it will show up here. And now I say, oh, I can get articles out of Harvard Business Review. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, my topic is Bitcoin. So we know electronic currency, or I'll even do something else. The students will know about this. So what about Elon Musk? Let's see if that works. So we know a lot of, a lot of articles have been written about Elon Musk, what he's doing with space, what he's doing with his cars, what he's doing just everywhere. So I want to know what articles are being published in Harvard Business Review on Elon Musk. And I know that other one, I think this one should work too. So I could also put Elon Musk here at the top, but that means I'm searching thousands of journals, right? And ebooks and things. When I found that one journal of our magazine of Harvard Business Review, I'm only searching articles within there. And so here, look, game-changing invention. What makes an idea revolutionary? Look, he was a revolutionary back a couple years ago. Then here's 2019. Here's this month. So we're still talking about him, right? I can, if I want, I can say what the date newest. So I want to know the latest information that Harvard Business Review talked about. But I think I'm going to just leave it at relevance, and I'm going to just review. I can review these things, and I'll actually just go ahead and jump in and open one of these. And so it's the same kind of thing. So it's getting me to an article within Harvard Business Review. This is more of a, it's done by Harvard, but it is more of a, I would call it more of a little popular reading or, a business reading magazine. So lots and lots. And here is where I could move around the magazine and just kind of flip through. Right? So if this is something, if I like to do this type of reading and I find a journal in here that I'm interested in, then I can do that. Look at that, dark traits defined. All right, so a couple different ways that you're searching. We talked about what you're able to access within here, which are all of those ebooks and all of those articles. A lot of them are going to be peer reviewed. A lot of them are going to be popular reading materials to help you to better understand your topic. So it's all mixed together in here. It's all available for you with your one sign-on. You do not have to have any kind of other, no wallets coming out and opening up. If you do choose to use the folder, remember, go before you start to save items in a folder, or before you say, well, yeah, I'm tired of bringing around that flash drive. I do want to, I'm just starting school. I'm going to be using this resource for at least the next 2 or 3 years, or maybe more. I'm going to go ahead and make an account with EBSCO. So what you're doing is basically, if you don't already have one, if you do have a Gmail, you can use Gmail as your authenticator. This is the same way that you would, sign in with Facebook. Same thing, sign in with Gmail. If not, you are welcome to create your own login. This would be an individual login that only you know about. EBSCO does not share your information. So I'm creating my login. And then every time I come in, I'm logging into my account so that then I'm able to save my articles and come back to them. And like I said, you could take a sabbatical. As long as you've made an account, you can come back to them. Oh, I went back too far. Or if you're helping, now I'm going way back too far. So, or if you're helping or working with other, with a group, or if you are a faculty member and you want to have those pieces of information, then you can. Just go ahead, and once I'm signed in here, I'm going to sign into my folder, and I'm done. And I'm going to be able to save it, save items to my folder like this, and those will come back, be there until you actually remove them from your folder. So, okay. Yeah, I like I'm looking at the chat and someone's saying, I can say bye-bye to Google Books for now. You have over 200,000 books. That is a lot. I teach for a lot of different schools, and you do have a very large collection. And you can notice that every time I'm doing a search, I'm getting a few ebooks dotted in. So this is a multidisciplinary collection. You are going to have a lot of health books in there, nursing books. You'll have, business books. You'll have history, ancient and forward, and just a lot, just whatever subject you could think about, most likely you will have a book on that topic. So I think I'm coming to an end. Want to make sure if there's any other questions. I think Damien, my colleague, was going to put his information in, and he did information into the chat. And thank you, Ms. Palmer and Ms. Knight, for inviting us both. I really enjoyed the sessions today.
Thank you very much, Lisa. We appreciate your coming to us today, and we anticipate that our students will be using all of the resources that they have been exposed to today, those of us who stayed online. And even as they are on, I see some of our administrators too, faculty members who have joined us. And what we know is that they're going to be sharing the resource with all of their students. And I'm happy to see that our administrators and our faculty members have taken the time out to come and share with us in this session. And we are going to let them know too, all of you presenters who are on, that if an individual faculty member requires an intimate session of these resources with their individual classes, they are free to reach out to us and let us know which of you, whether EBSCO, Emerald, ProQuest, which of you they would want to have come into their class space and speak to them. Because in that smaller setting, I think more can be done and our students would be more open to be asking questions. So I want to thank everybody for coming and just sharing with us. And welcome Damien Satterthwaite. He had put his information in the chat, and Damien from EBSCO is our resident go-to person. So we're happy to have him on board with us. As we close off, I just want to introduce to you quickly a bit of the information that we have here on our library's website that can also help you. And for our lecturers who are here, I just want you to see these things, right? So you're now seeing my screen, and we're on to other online resources. As you can see, you found this when Mrs. Knight went through earlier. You find other online resources under our resources and services, and these are open access. These resources are open access. They are not subscription. They are not subscription resources. These are all open access resources that you have access to, and which can help you a lot in doing your work, finding information, and can also help our lecturers to give you homework from, right? So we have the Caribbean Law Project, we have the Chicago Manual Style Online, all of these, ladies and gentlemen, that they're there, and you can search alphabetically. So when you get the chance to, you look at them and see what can be used for your own benefit. And that's it. As Mrs. Knight had indicated, you can reach out to us at any point in time at the library at ncu.edu.jm, and we're open at the various campuses, ladies and gentlemen. If you check our opening hours, if you go on our website and you check our opening hours, you'll see when is it that your particular campus is open, so that you don't have to be worrying about when is it that I'm going to be able to go in and speak to my librarian. So we just want to thank everybody for coming. We want to thank again our USM collaborators, United Student Movement collaborators, who were quick to jump on this idea, and they were the ones who created the flyers. They were the ones who offered us their Zoom platform. This is what it's all about. As we collaborate in this new normal that we're in, it's all about getting the information to our students and faculty and staff and having them know that the library is open for business. We want to let you know too that this week we celebrate Library and Information Week, and it's under the theme Glamour. Glamour means galleries, libraries, archives, museums, and record centers. And all of these information centers are valuable to national development. Some of you can remember when you were children and visited your local branch library. So none of these centers are going out of style. What they're trying to do is to expand access and to make sure that nobody gets left behind. If you can't go in physically, the resources are more and more going online in digital form so that you can access these resources. We are at the end of our presentation for today. And I hope that as we gave you a snapshot really into these resources, you can make use of them. I know there are persons who are asking in the chat for email address for our Emerald presenter. I'm not sure if she's still on. If you're on, Tutila, if you are still on, please put your email address in the chat and ensure that our students and faculty have access to you. If you want to get in touch with any of our presenters this afternoon, folks, just simply email us, library@ncu.edu.jm. We want to thank you for coming, and our presenters are putting their information in the chat. Please make sure that you note them and just taking the time to be with us this afternoon. We wish you a good day, and we hope that you'll be reaching out to your friendly librarian at St. Anne's Bay. That is Tamara Marshall at the St. Anne's Bay campus. For the Kingston campus, we have Denisha Douglas, and at the Montego Bay campus, we have Mr. Michael Humphrey. And all of these individuals are online. Reach out to them and make them know that you want their assistance. Thank you for coming, and have a good rest of the day. Thank you, presenters, and we will be in touch.